My name is Rowan E.B., and I'm a spoken word poet, I'm a written word poet, and I'm a visual poet. I write bad poems. My mother taught me an alphabet she thought she knew, but I heard a girl bring T and H together with a lazy flick of her tongue as I sat in a doctor's office, waiting to be admitted into the lap of the god of consonants and vowels that snagged my mother's lip as she spit them out onto my plate, bloodied but softened, so that I might have a better chance of beginning the digestive process that her saliva was not prepared to catalyze. But I read good poems, though I don't understand the second word of the third line or the fourth word of the fifth line. And by the time the poet remembers the verbs on the back shelf, I might trip backwards to the beginning of a sentence again and again to pluck the doer of the action. And I fall back to the beginning so many times, like a needle trying to read scratched vinyl, that all I hear is the crack of a stanza split by my confusion, as a group of words with no real sense of purpose stand outside, just where all the action happens. And they all pretend to be nouns because they wish they were doers. And by the time the token verb is dropped in for accessorizing, all the words that came before it claim to have brought it forth. And in the commotion, it is difficult for me to understand who is doing what. I read good poems, but I only know that they are good because they are cold and pale and they don't cry, just like the ones who beat my skinny brown back and told me to be quiet or else. But I write bad poems. In my sleep and in the shower and in the car and as I walk and while I cook and as my head shakes at white men who only know how to joke and with finger skin that smells of oil and with my computer melting tabletops and with my pen in my hand and as I bend over in menstrual pain and as I'm made apathetic by lust fuck. And as I turn away from the words sitting parallel to my hips, my words that bear witness to their own badness, as I turn away from them and whimper at the wall behind me that has watched the back of my head this whole time as I have added to the testaments of surrender that are consonants and vowels, half chewed by mouths not used to words that snag and tear the very tongues and cheeks that must consume them to sustain the body and the land that try to maintain a semblance of what they were before the conquerors came and told them to do, to be the verbs for the male nouns who make up the majority of the good poems of the world.